ELI5. Went on vacation. Fridge died while I was gone. Came back to a freezer full of maggots. How do maggots get into a place like a freezer that's sealed airtight? There was an egg on something before you even put it in there. Usually they just can't hatch because of the temp. At room temp they can hatch. So all I can think now is every time I eat something it's just covered in eggs. Yup. I'll never get that out of my head now. Most of these comments are probably wrong. Depending on what's in your freezer exactly, and when it was put in there, it shouldn't have viable pre-existing eggs or larvae. The blast freezing process brings things to a temperature that kills most fly eggs, basically absolutely any that you're going to encounter. And without the blast freezing process, eggs on the surface of food, which is where most flies lay their eggs, will become non-viable in just a few days, max. If frozen slowly, the water in the egg will crystallize and rupture the egg. Everything you buy in the freezer aisle is blast frozen. Okay, almost everything. All meat that you buy with the exception of fresh shellfish is most likely going to be egg-free. And shellfish-borne eggs don't turn into flies, they turn into worms and other parasites. Flies generally don't lay eggs on unripe fruit. They lay eggs on wet stuff. There are exceptions, like the fig wasp, that inject eggs. But these insects need more unripe fruit to successfully have multiple generations, which wouldn't be the case here. I'm guessing OP is dealing with some sort of blowfly larva like the common housefly. Flies are very good at detecting the chemicals released as food spoils. As food spoils, it outgasses. Solids and liquids are transformed by microorganisms into gases. These gases take up a much greater volume than the liquid and solid precursors. This puts pressure on the magnetically sealed door. This causes your freezer to begin to burp out these fly-friendly gases. Depending on the setup, there's a decent chance that the door will open and remain open. Regardless, fly noses act like leak detectors on your fridge. They will find small cracks, and they will gleefully sneak through failed U-traps. Food in Ziploc bags will liquefy, burst, and spill all over the freezer floor, weakening the magnetic seals, and luring flies to lay eggs right on the seal, allowing larvae to crawl in the direction of the scent. A couple years back, I had a fruit fly infestation that got rather bad. My freezer was new and in good working order. Fruit flies obviously are not going to be able to breed inside. But they are able to crawl inside, freeze, and die. In my case, fruit flies were likely going in the ice dispenser, because that's where the largest collection of them were found. It has an inner funnel that is pushed up against the ice reservoir to work. They were trapped in that cold funnel region. The flap gate on the ice dispenser is not nearly as strong of a seal as the door seal. If you have an ice dispenser, that's likely how they got in. The only way it would be brought in fly eggs would be if you froze some leftovers that a fly had time to lay eggs upon. This only takes seconds, and you did that like the same day the freezer failed.